If you clicked on this video, you're probably wondering how to decide between a guardianship and an adoption. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 differences between a guardianship and an adoption. So if you're excited about that, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel to get this content out to more families like you, and click the bell button to be notified when a new video is posted every week. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Bundy, a lawyer who's helped hundreds of Nebraska families like you with their guardianships, adoptions, and estate planning. And this is the place to be to learn all things adoptions, guardianships, and estate planning in Nebraska. Also, if you want to speak with an attorney in our law office about your specific situation, there's a link below in the description box that you can click to book your free consultation with my law office. So let's talk about what a guardianship actually is and what an adoption is. A guardianship is when you go to a court and you ask the judge to give you authority to make legal decisions over somebody. So typically, parents are natural legal guardians for their children, but sometimes the parents are not able to care for that child properly, and so another adult steps in and they can ask the court to become the legal guardian for that child. An adoption is different. An adoption is when you're asking a judge to now make you the legal parent for that child, not just the legal guardian. You're asking the court to make you the legal parent. And so the biological parents, basically their rights get terminated completely. They have no more rights over the child. And then you now become the legal parent for that child. That's an adoption. So now that we're clear on the 2 definitions, let's talk about the 3 differences between a guardianship and an adoption. The first difference is that a guardianship is temporary and an adoption is permanent. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, if you get legal guardianship over a child, the guardianship can be terminated. That's why it's temporary. It can be terminated at any time. The other parent, the natural parents, they can come to court and they can ask the court to terminate the guardianship if they're now able to care for the child. Other ways that a guardianship can be terminated is if, when the child becomes an adult, if the child, passes away. But an adoption is very different. An adoption is permanent. When it's done, right? So when you adopt a child, even after they become an adult, you are still their parent. It doesn't change if they pass away. It doesn't change if they become an adult. It never changes, okay? So that's what I mean by a guardianship is temporary, but an adoption is permanent. The second main difference between a guardianship and an adoption is that a guardianship suspends the rights of the biological parents, but an adoption terminates the rights of a natural parent. So let's walk through that. If the court gives you that authority to start making legal decisions over the child, what that also means is that the biological parents' rights get suspended. Okay, and now you get the authority to basically act like the legal parent, even though you're not the legal parent. So a legal guardianship is a great solution for, relatives like an aunt or uncle or grandma who are taking care of their younger relatives, because it allows for you to be able to make legal decisions for this child without interruption from the natural parents. Okay, and in this video right here, I go into details about the importance of getting a guardianship if you are a relative caring for your young relative. So make sure you check that out after you're done watching this video. All right, so the adoption completely terminates the rights of a natural parent. They have no more rights, and they usually can never come back and ask for that adoption to be overturned, okay? You are now recognized as the parent by law. The third main difference between a guardianship and an adoption is that a guardianship case will stay open for the duration of the case, but an adoption, once it's done, the case closes. When you become legal guardian for a child, the judge is going to continue to oversee that case until the guardianship is terminated. So every year, you have to write a report to the judge to let the judge know how the child is doing. If you're managing, an inheritance that child has or anything like that, you also have to report to the court every year about what you're doing with the money for that child and how you're taking care of them. So that guardianship case stays open the entire time that the guardianship is active until that guardianship is terminated. Versus an adoption, when an adoption is done, it's done. The case is closed. And you actually have to petition the court to reopen an adoption case. All right, so if you are an aunt or an uncle or a grandma and you've been taking care of your young relative for quite some time, setting up a guardianship may be the best solution. So watch this video next. again about how important it is, the three main reasons why you really need to think about having a legal guardianship over your young relative, and I'll see you in the video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.